just to get back onto track with up and down strokes, doing the same as what I've just described in the last two segments about downstroke, just going back to the up and down, just to remember that you strum the pulse, tick and tock and tock and tock and tick and tock and tock and tock. Your arm has to must stay on the entire pulse grid the way we've marked it out, with ticks and tocks and tocks. But then you can obviously drop in or out. You haven't got to fill every once you get the idea that the I might have said this in a couple of videos ago, but just to recap, the movement of the hand has to fill up on every beat. It has to occupy every beat. But the strums the sounds that you make don't have to. You can choose to, when you don't hit the guitar, it's playing the beat, but it's not playing a sound, and that means that you vary the sound levels. This is what you're doing. So, and then you just decide where to put the strums based on the rhythm of the language, which is brother, daughter, coconut, he bought it for a dime, his sister had another one, she paid it for a dime. I did that all kind of freestyle then, but you can see that my hand's still doing tick and tock and tock and tock. It can never break that. And that's it. That's the idea, really. Every time I do it, I can do it differently. Brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. His sister had another one, she paid it for a dime. That was a very sparse and empty one, but I could do this and fill it almost up and just drop the odd one out, like brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. His sister had another one, she paid it for a dime. And that's filled up most of the beats with noise, with sounds on each drum. And then very empty, it'd be like brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. His sister had another one, she paid it for a lime. That's a very empty one. The more you empty it, the less rhythm it's got. But these are things that you have to play around with. There's if you're doing an accompaniment, you've got to work out how many of those strums, the pulse, how much of the pulse you need to reveal to the listener, and how much you need to put the strums in. And I suppose the last thing to say is you put a very quiet pulse in like this, and then you accent the words like brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. His sister had another one, she paid it for a lime. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank them both up. She put the lime in the coconut. And so I've got the pulse always there, but very quiet, and then my strums, I just get my accents, which is the louder strums, by using the syllables of the words and doing it that way. So it won't work. You'll find that you read through the words and get the pulse and the rhythm right, and do those and experiment in the way I've described in the last couple of videos with all downstrokes and this one. As long as you'll find it better to experiment without the record. When you put the record on, it'll disrupt you. It'll probably disrupt you at first, but eventually, the language of the record will penetrate your ear as you do it and push your arm into weird, interesting strums, which you can sort of sit back and watch, as long as you keep that motor going. There's the motor. The pulse is a motor. I'm going to put that into a separate video. But all the ideas about being free and freestyling your rhythms and stuff it's all great. It'll all work if you. What you've got in front of you though is like hours and hours, days and days, weeks and weeks. You can spread those hours out over months and months and years, but it's a lot of work. But it's fun. That's all I can say to you. It's fun to develop that, and you'll develop your own rhythm. Obviously, the class it's for beginners, and this is it's an advanced idea, but it's not technically advanced. It's something you can try now if you want to, and it'll give you questions to ask me, which is the best role that I can give, is answering your questions. So, I'll stop it there.